Alright, so I want to summarize all this. This takes a lot of research, a lot of dots to connect. And the worst part about it is the women today don't respect the average man enough to listen. They will try to destroy your confidence and undermine you before they put up a rational argument. How do I know this? Because I've made videos about this. I've talked to women. They immediately go into an ego, a defense, to defend their sin and the fact that they're wrong and they're leading us all to hell because they won't listen to the average man. They're following the footsteps of the political power structure that we're in that is using them, since women are more likely to follow society norms than men. Men are more likely to rebel or to revolt. So when the women step in line like good little girls and they do what the state wants them to do, what do? They hate men. They destroy men. Because if you can destroy basically the women, if you fill women with resentment, just like they filled, I ain't gonna say that. You fill women with resentment towards the men, and they don't realize it till it's too late, their 30s, then you've destroyed a whole generation of a replacement rate. The population is not gonna keep up. It's gonna die off. There's gonna be more elders than there are young people. Because the women were tricked. They were tricked. They bought a lie, an apple that was given to them by the devil. They bought something that said, you're strong, you can be independent, you don't need a man. Guess what? God said for us to come together, be fruitful. Okay? That's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to come together. We were supposed to have a family. We were supposed to multiply. Now, what's going to happen is if 2030, half of the women in their 30s are going to be are going to be, I got off work, I'm not thinking straight. They're going to be single and not have kids, and they still won't take accountability for the fact that this was their fault, or at the very least that they were deceived and tricked. They're going to be in their 30s, and I feel like even as desperate as your average man has become, your average single man in their 30s is not going to be anywhere near as drawn or attracted to these women in their 30s as this man was when he was looking at the younger ones, the ones in their 20s. These women want the family when they're in their 30s, and the guys in their upper 30s and such ain't gonna have it. So basically by 2030, the women that are about 25 right now that should be getting with a guy and having a family are gonna spend these years being a narcissist. They're gonna spend these years with orbiters, with men circulating around them, giving them attention, giving them dopamine highs. And because of the options, they're not gonna settle down. They're not gonna choose anybody. And they're gonna try to choose when it's too late, and nobody's gonna choose anybody. It's gonna be like Japan. That is what's gonna happen. The men feel betrayed in this country. They're not gonna forgive the women when they're older. If the women were 20 wanting forgiveness, the men would. But no, the women are going to wait until they're older. I swear to God, this is my prediction. I'll go back and watch this video in 5 years because that's what's going to happen. And you think this VR with the corn, the VR corn, and how immersive it's getting? You think this ain't going to get more immersive? You think they're not going to give all these simps an outlet for their sexual desires to get their attention off the modern woman? Once that happens, the modern woman today is going to feel as humiliated and as invisible as the average man today. I would bet so much that is exactly what the fuck is about to happen, to a T. To a T. That is what's going to happen. And then ultimately, you guys that follow the Christianity know the cartel banking system's trying to overthrow Venezuela and Iran. You guys need to understand that. It's to have a global one world banking system, digital currency, to completely control your asses. Enslave you to a degree that you have no idea what is coming and how bad things are going to get and how bad they are right now, but people are so unconscious. It's like, if there's a pineal gland and that's the seat of your consciousness, There's a war on consciousness right now. There's a war on your pineal gland. That's the only reason so many people can be so stupid. Holy shit, man. Like, holy shit, wake up. I've known most of this shit when I was 16 years old, man. You're telling me we got 80-year-olds that still live in a completely other dimension? No, we all need to get on the same page. And we need to understand what is happening. They want the population down to 800 million. And you think they're not accomplishing that? Wait until you see what's coming next, man.